Hey everybody, it's me again, Grant Ellis, the director of the Dracula Dossier Knights Black Agents campaign, and we have a special one-on-one session, where we are going to run a solo session for Jisoo, played by Jess, Burst of Hope, who uses they them pronouns. Jess is a wonderful contributor to the tabletop RPG community and a very good friend of mine. Has been for a number of years now, and I've really appreciated Jess's enthusiasm and efforts to make sure that the campaign has been successful. From doing all the research in Dracula Unredacted, to providing motivation for continued and persistent play. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to look at how we can prep a special session. So, Jisoo knows that their partner, Jisoo uses she, her pronouns, her partner, is in Hillingham. Colette is the name of her partner. There's going to be some opposition when they get there. So first things first, let's look at Hillingham. There's a few things we want to do. So I think narrowly, we're going to start Hound plus Jisoo interactions. Breaking into London. Hillingham. And then after that, making sure that face opposition, find clues, and then we are going to make sure that we dramatic finale. So this will be a narrow approach. We've talked about that kind of stuff before. Let's see what we got. So, as always, this show is sponsored by Pelgrane Press. We're very appreciative of everything they've supplied, including the soundtrack, Dust and Mirrors. You can find links to all these products beneath the video. Let's take a look at the book. First things first, let's go to Hillingham. Page 190. And we are going to view page display, a single page. Let's get in there and view this. We will save the image. You call it Hillingham. Alright. The stately home of the Westerna family passed into the possession of Arthur Holmwood after Lucy's death. Now it's an abandoned derelict rotting in the heart of Hampstead. Based on the location in one of London's hottest property markets, the house and gardens are worth millions. The Holmwoods, or Edam, might be unwilling to sell, or perhaps some distant branch of the Westenras. Westenra and Westerna. I have been saying it wrong the entire campaign. I am ashamed. It's still throwing up legal obstacles, or prospective buyers are turned away by this sense of sorrow and malice that seems imprinted on the building. After all, it was here that Dracula sucked the life from Lucy, and here that Lucy and her mother died on the same ghastly night. Half remembered local legends haunted by a giant dog. It's not the only derelict mansion in the area. Could draw would-be worshippers. If Lucy and Arthur Holmwood are fighters at large, the one may both haunt. They're Edam's tame vampires. Then Edam monitors the estate and preserves a few locked rooms on the upper story. I don't think there's going to be that, so let's see what's warm. The house is derelict, the garden's overgrown. The windows and doors are boarded up. That doesn't keep squatters out. Upstairs you find a locked door. Like the other doors. Oops, I'm receiving. Oh, this is funny. Alright. There's another game by Pelgrane Press, The Yellow King, that a friend of mine is so close to buying. I've been going on and on about it. But right now, let's focus on Dracula. Okay, upstairs you find a locked door. Unlike the other doors you pass, no one's tried to force it open. That's going to be where Colette is. On the other side of the door, Lucy's bedroom, Lucy's coffin, the bludgeoning corpses of squatters, an Edom listening post tuned into the telluric stain left by Dracula's forced entry. This is also a great place for an attack by one of Dracula's minions. The lingering influence of the cow on hate. We know that Lucy lived there. So we need some more information. Let's see. Let's look at Lucy. Because she's going to be a big key to the mystery. Lucy's life was cut short by Dracula at the age of 19. She lived with her widowed mother. She attended the same school as Mina Murray. Remained in regular contact with her. Even before Dracula's attacks, Lucy's health was precarious. And she suffered some somnambulism. Which I don't know what that is. She had a number of suitors, 3 of whom proposed marriage on the same day. Lucy's love life is curious in its own right, even before one introduces vampires to the mix. Her 3 suitors, Seward, Godalming, and Morris, all knew one another and were close friends, but none of them seemed to know the intentions of the others towards Lucy. Dracula targeted Lucy within 3 days of his arrival to England. So we're going to need to go to the Edom section and look more. We're going to need to look more into Alice Weston. What it means to actually run Edom in this situation. So we need some more Edom opposition force information. So let us go to the table of contents and go to our opposition forces. So let's, page 49, D. The few who know there is an M16 section chief codenamed D assume it's a jocular reference of being next to C. In truth, the initials stand for Doge, the Edomite herdsman of Saul who killed even the high priest. The order of his king, the section of research operations, keeps a low profile, even by service standards. Its chief, likewise, D, shuttles between Ring and MI6 HQ. In Vauxhall crawls on no particular schedule. His office there is small, out of the way. Finding it requires specific knowledge of the layout. He is always accompanied by 2 service bodyguards, or by 1 or more Dukes of Edoms. The specific identity of D is up to the director. That's me. And I believe it is Lucy. I believe it's Lucy. So that's what I've decided. So, small organization. She's trying to do it. So let's talk about what we can probably do is take one of Edom's facilities, like the Blacklight interrogation facility. Well, I think they want Colette to be... So here's what I'm thinking. Let's talk about this from dramatic structure. In fact, this is a good opportunity to revisit the thriller spine. Let's just go to the spine. Give me the spine. Dun dun dun. So, 3 scenes ahead or none. So you need to make sure that you are 3 scenes ahead or none. So, helps. Thriller skeleton. Alright. Hook. Curtain. Wake up. No stall. Blowback. Twist. Relief. Reveal. So this is what I think we're going to do. Hook. A party invitation to there's a Holmeswood. Again, let's go to Hillingham. That's the real estate broker. Alright, there's let's connect it to not Arthur Holmwood, Tabitha Holmwood. She's a legacy. So she's young. She's gorgeous. So yeah, she's in supermarket tabloids or anything like that. She's off fiddling with the is she part of maybe the Holmwood family has cut Tabitha off and she's made some very bad decisions to fund her extravagant lifestyle. She has connections to the Romanian mafia or the drug boss or even the arms runner. There's some weight. She's gonna be innocent. So let's bring her over. That's great. I like that we get a... So... Hook. Colette is in the derelict mansion of Hillingham. Alright. Access is... Jeez, come on. Come on. Go down. Access is granted by... Let's switch up our music too. There we go. Tabitha Holmwood, the dramatic and infamous socialite. Need to convince her to get access. She's a minion. She's gonna be a Dracula minion. Not yet, but give her time. Tabitha's living life. On fast forward, because she knows she doesn't have much left, she's been diagnosed with a severe form of an impairment of blood cell. She believes becoming a vampire can save her. Awake? Champagne. That's what it's going to be. She's going to be... she's essentially going to be... she's betrayed. Dramatic and infamous socialite. Access to Hillingham. Traded Colette to become a vampire, but Dracula has not fulfilled his end of the bargain. So let's look at some of the investigations. So, all right. So hook, curtain. So, derelict mansion of Hillingham. It's going to be, closed for. We'll just say Whitby. Is closed for fumigation. Most likely moved to Hillingham. Spelling will be all over the place. This will be the curtain. Been placed on a, say, photography. We'll say fashion photography portfolio building opportunity. I like that. Quickly move to Hillingham. Let's check out the next thing. We are going to skip the skull. The first reveal. Yeah, so the twist is going to be. So, twist. Colette is gone. Completely gone. Final reveal. Dracula has taken. Dracula attempted to take Colette. Ooh, this is going to be dramatic. Dracula doesn't photograph. Like, that's the thing. I don't think he does. Attempted to take Colette. She defended herself. Died. Could not be taken. Tabitha traded her for a promise of immortality. So we'll move through these scenes relatively easily. So let's see what's going on. Photograph. It's my photograph. And Helsing's photograph. Photography Pats. Photography. Rather than fumble through the book, let's just go back. I know there's some pictures of Dracula and stuff like that. Let's see what we got. Come on. We're looking for items. So we flip through objects. There's portraits of Dracula. There are... Dracula doesn't photograph. Oil painting on cheap canvas, painted by the artist Francis Aiton. This painting depicts the faces of two men. One old and one young. Features two men are extremely similar. One might be father and son. Alright. He can't be photographed or recorded. An echo of the Count. This is very interesting, having portraits of Dracula. It could be that it's kept in the estate. Very interesting. So I really like this idea of setup of Dracula uncovered. There's other things that this would belong to. So Westenra brooch. There's the cameo of Dracula. Interesting. These are like small little Homewood cameo. This is interesting. An oval locket. We're gonna grab this shenanigans. We're gonna take this. Don't, Grammarly, buzz off. I'm not trying to be grammatically correct right now. Alright. This is great. So, if it's... The images of Dracula were inserted over two other photographs. So there's going to... Okay, they're going to have a picture of Lucy. I like that. This is very nice. Portraits of Dracula is the next thing, you know. Making sure that we have the portraits of Dracula. They want to do an earthquake on... Interesting. So, yeah, she's gonna have some interesting things. Like, we're gonna add... That's very nice. An 1894 painting. Let's see if we can... let's see if we can... find the Westenra brooch and what that is. 284. Okay, small brooch polished. Jet Whitby stone. So there's a witness. Tabitha is a bit of a witness. And she would have seen a dramatic fight between Colette swap our music since this is a bit too dramatic for the time being. Of Dracula is kept in the estate. So I think this is going to be a smaller investigative adventure. We'll play it out and see how it goes. I mean, one-on-one play, I assume it's going to be roughly an hour or so. Let's see what we have, though. So let's go back to Hillingham. It's near in Hillingham. And this will set up the confrontation with Lucy. We need to read a little bit about Arthur Holmwood, too, to make sure that we know who this guy is. Yeah, there'll be an attic room we'll have. Yeah, the High Modernist Mansion, yeah. So this is essentially where Dracula came and killed Lucy, and it's where he attempted to kill Colette, probably in a strange, dramatic reenactment, almost as a display of power over Lucy. I think that's probably the way it would view. Lucy would have been laid to rest. Kingstead. Yeah. If Hopkins is on the run. This campaign has an enormous amount of information, good stuff. So Arthur Holmwood, let's read a little bit about him. Later, Lord Godalming, heir to the estate of the Ring and one of the most desirable bachelors in London prior to his engagement to Lucy, Holmwood provided the hunters with financial backing and the shield of his reputation. He took the lead in tracking down and destroying Dracula's network of refuges across London, and he delivered the killing blow to Lucy. Taciturn and solemn, Holmwood seemed unwilling. So if Operation M did manage to recruit a vampire, then obviously the eventual goal would be to have a British vampire. They did have a British Empire. That is the root of much colonialism. Holmwood was Edam's vampire designate until the Count targeted Lucy instead of the young lord. So it's looking pretty good. So let's start refining this and kind of beat it out. And by beat it out, I mean we're going to set the pace, so I'm going to do hiding. Jisoo has leads on Colette via Hound. Search for Holmwood to get to the high society party life with pop stars and millionaires. Convinced to get access to Hillingham. It's derelict. Apologies. We've received. It's derelict. We need sort of a surprise jack-in-the-box, though. So if... So there needs to be a minion still there. Homewood would be a good one. The old man comes around. So... Yeah, I think it's going to be... There will be... I don't think Homewood runs Edom. But it may be that, you know, he's working for Dracula. That's one of those things. There could just be a ghoul there. So let's look at what we have as far as, you know, you'll never run out of bad guys. That's what it says, you know, and the game's right. You will never run out of bad guys. There are always more bad guys. Let's see what we got. Creatures of the night. So we don't want to build a vampire. A ghoul. Let's grab a Renfield. So let's see what we got here. I think it's gonna be one of those things. Life. Let's see. I don't want to have her fight Zombie Colette. That would not be worthwhile. There needs to be a jack-in-the-box. There needs to be a surprise. Oh, gosh. She could possibly... Maybe a dumb Peter. More powerful Sword of Renfield. Yeah, so, a Daywalker. Yeah, it'll be one of those things. I will have damn Peter be waiting for them in attempt to kill. That sounds fair. I don't like them as a vampire slayer though, so maybe we Death Bat. Yuda. You know, Vampiric assigned. Yeah, essentially, probably an assign. An assign like Homewood would be the one. That, yep, and he would have the Homewood locket. So let's get a quick screen of this just to add the abilities. They're the same as Ileana and the other. Probably sleeps in the cemetery out back. It's a lot to have a vampire shows up, so convinced to get it's derelict. Evidence of a struggle. And Colette's death. Homewood haunts the estate. Maniacal laugh. And let's double check Tabitha Homewood's she's young and gorgeous. Blind drunk, seen with pop star, hot young, member of the royal family. And she has a myelodysplastic syndrome. Let's see what that is. It's an impairment of blood cell production that leads to leukemia, so she has cancer. And it's going to be one of those things where she's traded, so essentially she's flipped. And this kind of shows like the severity between the two. So there's essentially Edom is curing cancer. Her cancer could be cured. She worked for Edom, but they haven't moved fast enough. She found out, so she turned to someone else. She was offered a quick fix by Dracula. And that's a very nice dramatic story arc. And I like that. So hope you enjoyed this prep. It is a shorter session since it's a one-on-one session, but I liked it that we're going to go deeper into Jisoo's backstory, and let's sort of walk through this again. So, Jisoo and the Hound are going to go searching to rescue Colette. She's been sent to Whitby. She's been placed on a fashion photography portfolio building opportunity, working with Tabitha Homewood, who probably owns a fashion line. Her apartment's closed for some reason, and she got moved by her boss to Hillingham. They can track down Tabitha, though, and find out what's going on. Final reveal is going to be that, there was this, Homewood attacks. The end is finding the locket, vowing revenge. So, yeah, it's going to be Colette's gone. Tabitha's, there's a promise of immortality and things like that. She could get her cancer cured. I love it. This is dramatic. Oh my goodness. Hopefully this goes well for Jess. So as always, our outro is the intro, and we will see you on Saturday. By way of public record, these sessions have been recorded in advance, and in order to not conflict with Gen Con this weekend. Catch you later. Bye.